to Gadget Friday. I feel like I need to do some kind of a big dramatic
dun, 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 dun.
for Gadget Friday. But today we're going to kind of tie in with a video that we did earlier in the Go Live in August challenge, where we talked about brewing loose leaf tea and how it's not as complicated as what some people think, you know, when we talked about the difference between loose leaf versus bags and tags. So we've got some different kinds of loose leaf brewing tools here today we're going to talk about. But I want to just kind of reminisce back a little bit to the other day when I showed you this little tiny teapot, little substitute for a tea ball. You know, you look at this is like microscopic. You cannot fit very much tea in there, and there's definitely no room for it to expand. So that's why we say, you know, tea balls are just not a good idea. Even if you've got a tea ball that's like this big, it's still just not, there's no room for the tea to flow freely. So we've got several different ways you can do it. We showed yesterday the cold steeping method where we just threw the loose tea in the milk, but you can also just obviously, you know, brew it loose in your hot water as well, and then pour it through a fine mesh strainer. Key there, fine mesh, you know, getting something that's not going to let a lot of the tea leaves go through. Not that that really hurts you, but some people don't like floaties in their tea. The next thing is this cute little device called the Tuffy Steeper, and this is made out of
silicone.
Silicone, thank you. And it's really cool because it's collapsible, so it collapses down and it snaps into its little saucer here. So it's a nice little convenient deal. But what's really cool about this is that you put your loose tea in here, you set it down in your cup, your mug, whatever, and it brews. And then when you're done, you go to the trash can and you go like this. And you dump the tea leaves into the trash. Or into your garden for compost or whatever you choose to do with them. But anyway, and then, like I said, it's got its own little saucer. So that's a cool little device. Also, we have these tea sacks, which are basically like a make-your-own tea bag. Now, you know, the other day we were really going off on why tea bags, you know, bags and tags are a bad thing. Well, that's because the bags are this big and they have tea dust. These are huge bags. You know, you've got plenty of room to put in your loose tea. I mean, you're only going to fill it probably up to about here at the most with tea.
For a teapot.
For a teapot, yeah, you're going to have it like, you know, halfway full for a teapot. And if you need to do more than that, use more than one bag. But the cool thing about this is, you know, when you're using the traditional tea bags, you want to brew a little bit stronger cup, you go one bag or two bags. This way you can go, okay, one scoop and just a little more. Or whatever, you know, get it exactly.
And you can mix and match.
Yes, you can mix and match too. Like, you'll remember I talked about the guayusa, South American herbal tea. Sometimes what I like to do is put a little bit of that in, and then I'll put some other flavor, you know, like a chocolate tea or something in there. So I've got a little bit more flavor combining with that. So yeah, you can create your own flavor that way. And then finally, if you're brewing a whole pitcher worth of tea, you've got a device like this. This is the Takea teapot, or tea pitcher, infuser, and it's got this really long basket. So you put your tea in there, obviously it screws into the lid. You put your tea in there and you brew it, and then you've got plenty of room for the water to flow through the tea and really fully infuse.
But remember when you're done brewing to take the basket of tea out.
Yes.
And then put the lid back on.
Yes, and that holds true for everything. You know, well, obviously you're not going to drink with the Tuffy in your mug, but any of your brewing methods, make sure that you're taking it out, which I will point out that there are some of the, like, the to-go mugs, the travel mugs or whatever you call them, that have the little basket in there. That's where it's really important. You need to make sure there's a way to take that out because you don't want to leave it brewing.
There is one travel cup that the basket's in the lid, so you actually brew it upside down. And that way when you're drinking it regular, the tea's out of the water and you can sip through it.
Right, right. And that way it only just flows through as you're drinking, but it doesn't sit and keep steeping in the water. So anyway, there you go. Several different ways that you can brew your loose leaf tea. Not that complicated. Yes, it may take a little bit more steps, but it's so worth it with the flavor that you're going to get from the loose leaf tea versus the bags and tags. So enjoy, and we will see you next time. Bye.